Let's start with the thing that I can assure you is 100% correct. The title is a lie. First, there are three main characters here. Falcon, who never becomes the Captain America. Sure, in the end he has the shield, but I don't give a shit. Then there is Winter Soldier. I mean, Bucky, who is no longer the Winter Soldier, so whatever. And there is a new Captain America, who is a right-wing Captain America. Not a MAGA, not a fascist one, but still a strong right-wing Captain America who you can hate. That's an American thing where you have characters who are heels. Baby faces and heels. And he is a heel. So, yeah, sure, whatever. On the other hand, after 1.5 episode, I noticed I am falling asleep. One of the reasons for this that this is a drama series. It wants to pretend it is a political drama, but it is not. For to be a political drama, it would need the villain to be anything other than a one-note MCU villain who declare itself somewhere in the episodes in a one-liner, but otherwise are doing nothing and affect nothing. The MCU is a tell don't show franchise. That's a problem. Now, what this show is supposed to be according to its own script. It is supposed to be that there was the blip, so a bunch of half the population went away for 5 years and did not contribute to society, and to society had to reorganize. So there is tension between the population, and the world is going back to the nations and that kind of system, while during the 5-year period the government had to cooperate strictly, very close to each other, so nationalism got dead. Now, in any real writing, because this is just horseshit, that would be foundation for a strong sci-fi story. But this is a comic book story. And comic book stories are either just, flimsy action, fantasy action, which have no remark to the real world or like anything, or very closely following the real world in their aesthetics and circumstances and all that kind of stuff. But this series is an adaptation of I'm just guessing, I don't know for real, but let's say an 80s America story. Don't know where the actual story comes from or what they were actually adapting, what the original main title characters were, but this does not have a tension between the people who got blipped, because then we would have the problem that under 5 years a bunch of logistics and industries and all that just collapsed due to neglect and that kind of stuff. But here there is two origin of tension in the society, and that is the Vietnam-Korean War, closed or not, whatever you want. So it's anti-Asian feelings of the USA and anti-black. What is impossible after the Black Lives Matter movement and all similar stuff that happened since, I don't know, 2015, 2020. This story cannot happen there. So, I guess, I'm just guessing, of course, I have no proof, but as far as I can guess, and my guess is actually usually pretty close to reality, it turns out, this was written by AI. Someone said the AI to take the story from the comic book and make a show for nowadays. Here are some stuff that you need to rewrite, write around, circumwrite, but otherwise, take the story, rip it off, don't think, because the AIs don't think. And that's what we are seeing. Nobody checked what is the final script. I guess for some reason AI cannot write action scenes, and those are actually made by humans. But that's why we always have the rumor that the directors hired have to work around that the action scenes are already made, and they have to direct the rest of the stuff to include those action scenes, because the rest is made by AI and the action scenes are not. Whether the AI is too stupid to understand physics and limitation of the human body, or just still have some problems like the 6 fingers and extra elbows and all that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I don't know, but I strongly guess that's what's happening here. Because this is horseshit. You see, the original material was not rewritten by a human. Or if it was, then I don't know where the money goes. Because this must be, if it was written by a human, then it must be very cheap. Bottom of the barrel writers. Cost efficient, as the HR and CEOs used to say, while they are pocketing all the money. And aren't the MCU supposed to be a superhero thing? So why I don't get superhero thing? Why I get a brooding Winter Soldier and a moody Falcon? And okay, let's make a series about this, with all the consequences of the blip and the politics and the population control and the society structure and the logistics, all that. 6 episodes. 6 episodes is simply not enough. Make it 2 or 3 seasons with 20-something episodes per season. This topic demands that much, if we really want to delve into. And if we don't, then don't make the show. And yeah, someone in a mentioned that why wasn't evil Captain America remain strictly autocratic, aggressive right-wing persona and kill the show's villain's leader, who was an anarchist. Uh, I, and I don't mean with anarchy that it's no control and just do whatever you want. Anarchism is a legitimate political movement where every people is responsible to work with every other people. So you can, in theory, organize a society with that in mind. It's very utopistical, and I don't think it can be achieved in a real world, but still, this is a fiction, so at least we could make tendency to that. So, and because that's, a legitimate thing they want, we of course need to have a head of the organization, the secret twist villain, who actually want world domination and all that. And $1 million. But this show is just boring and doesn't achieve anything and doesn't actually touch the topics it's supposed to. It just has Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America beating up some faceless clone army. By the way, the faceless left-wing globalist anarchist army is all super soldiers. Because now everyone can be super soldier. And there isn't even the risk to become Red Skull, the literal devil embodiment. No, it's just, you just get super. Don't even, the extra peak human achievement, speed, agility, strength, whatever, but actually superpower. And you know what I really hate aside those? You get the shield, and you can do all these mundane earth throws. How? If you get the super serum, I say comic book logic, okay, whatever. But how does a regular person, like right-wing Captain America and Falcon, do this? Falcon just has a military thingy on his back, the technical device. And the new Captain America doesn't even have anything. What are we doing here? By the way, I thought the end of the show is the big speech with the senator. You should do better. Better in what way? There is no suggestion. Really, that's like talking to a politician or a politician activist on the street, those who want your signature for the candidate or whatever. They 99% of the time they don't have any idea why are they there. They are just collecting signature. So that's only like half or maybe 2/3 of the episode. Then we get that Captain America, the new Captain America, is now Agent USA. So yeah, this society is really going on the wrong direction. And Winter Soldiers go back to the Asian guy from the beginning and says, "Oh, I killed your son." Boo. And Falcon brings this oppressed black guy who the government experimented on. See, this is an 80s, maybe 90s story. This is not a 2020 story. You can't sell it, even with the. What's the word? Inertia, whatever, of the comic book industry. Sometimes it's 10, 20 years too late, so this could have been written in the 2000s, but not later. So they just go to the Captain America museum and the guy instantly changes his mind because we can't have real totes in a Marvel show. Then there is the everyone is celebrating montage, and then we have the mid-credit scene that says that evil or Mr. Villain, Miss Villain, Miss Evil is still out there and selling influence and secrets and technology because sure, why not? Like anybody cares. Like, do you remember the 10 rings? It was probably dismantled. Hydra all dead. The guy who made the mutant serum, but not X-Men. Everybody will be so different if you say X-Men. That corporation over. Then there was the guy who was rival with Stark. I guess Stark Industry just bought up when it got dismantled because of bankruptcy or something. This big organization in the MCU just disappeared in the thin air. Like they're villains. Everybody is dead. Just I can't care. And that's not a good thing. And that is the problem with Doomsday. It will be filled with 50 main characters. You can't handle that much. Even Deadpool and Wolverine was just a cameo fest. And you know what's worse? It is written by the same people who wrote Infinity War and Endgame. So we know Doomsday, we don't have to watch Doomsday. It will be retconned by Secret Wars. And you know what's my problem with Secret Wars? We don't know anything about it, so I assume it will be doing something with Secret Invasion, just because secret. Why? What that has to do with the multiverse saga? Is this Phase 4, 5, and 6 is still the multiverse saga? Or something else? Where are we in the storytelling? Are we doing it still? Or we went totally DCU? What are we doing here? Because it's just nonsense. And if they trash out Wonder Man, do we need another character no one heard about in a series so won't appear in the movies? Do we care? Why introduce it? What's the point? And Vision Quest? I don't even remember what happened with White Vision. Is he dead? Didn't he? What's How did they resolve issues with Wanda? I don't remember. And I watched it like a couple of weeks ago at most. I understand why they are making a Spider-Man movie. They have to do something with it. But then why bring back whoever plays Doctor Doom Iron Man? Is Ironheart the new Iron Man or Spider-Man is the new Iron Man? Or Doom is the new Iron Man, or there is a new Iron Man. Do we want to figure it out? Or we are good, we don't no longer have better things to do. We stepped forward, left this thing behind and